Yeah,
Okay. Welcome to the Marketing Crystal Ball, ladies and gentlemen. This is IPL versus Elections Showdown by DMA Brandmasters, where we deep dive into the strategies that define success in India's dynamic advertising landscape. I'm your host, Preeti Hoon, and today we are joined by Kaushik Chakraborty, Head of Marketing and Corporate Communications at Tata Capital. Welcome, Kaushik.
thank you. Thank you. Privileged to be on your show, Preeti.
And as we know, Tata Capital is a brand that stands tall in the financial services sector, celebrated for its innovative marketing and communication strategies. In this episode, Kaushik will share insights into Tata Capital's journey of digital transformation, influencer partnerships, and the impactful campaigns that have set new benchmarks in the industry. From leveraging digital ads to engaging with audiences on social media, we'll uncover the tactics behind their success. As we navigate through the complexities of marketing during high stake events like the IPL and general elections, we'll delve into the strategies that help Tata Capital maintain its edge. Stay tuned as we explore how digital innovation and content creativity drive their marketing excellence. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to dive into the world of marketing with us. Let's get started. First thing first, Kaushik, how is it going for you? The IPL and general elections in the same year. What are your first thoughts?
Well, as a brand, Tata Capital, this has been a very, very important year.
Okay.
We have done a lot of new things as far as the brand is also concerned. As a company, we started investing now big time into various brand building associations and campaigns. 23 has been so to say, a year before that, we tied up, we are the title sponsors of one of the major cricketing events, which is Women's Premier League. And this is the second year that we are sponsoring. And after that, as an extension to that, and we thought that we should now strongly have a brand ambassador, so to say. And we this year tied up with Shubman Gill, who's one of the most prominent cricketers of India, and also uh, he kind of uh, connects better with the youth. He's trustworthy, and all those attributes just matches to what we want to target as an audience. So we signed up with Shubman Gill as our brand ambassador, and we did our first campaign last year with him. Uh, we are hot. Like, for example, this year you're talking about IPL and general election. Last year was ICC World Cup, and we used Shubman's campaign during the ICC World Cup, and we have great experiences there. Yeah, and that's been the journey as of now. And we are as we speak during this Women's Premier League, which is in continuing right now. We are repeating Shubman's campaign. Last time, though, it was in ICC World Cup. Now we are targeting through news channels and all. Uh, so that's where we stand. And going forward, we would be committed towards sports. We would use cricket and other sports to reach out to our audience, normally like
Sure.
we do.
Sure. Kaushik, I'll
Elections,
come to that. I'll come to that one by one. And, so let's get going with
sure,
the
sure.
media allocation strategy.
Yeah.
With the evolving media landscape, how does Tata Capital strategically allocate its media budget between digital and traditional platforms during events like the IPL and general elections for optimal reach and impact?
Well, multimedia always builds instant reach for us. And we, as a brand, have been very, very dependent and focused on TV and digital as our main pillars. We have used out of home also strategically in key geographic markets across India to reach out to the right audience. And from time to time, we have used print, and that too very strategically. So, TV and digital are our main pillars.
Okay.
We always, I mean, if you want a little more deep dive on how to do, we during camp, even for the ICC World Cup, uh, which is a tent pole of scale, so to say, as far
Mm-hmm.
as viewership is concerned, we carefully crafted our approach to schedule smartly on days and times where the brand will be most visible. We used, like I told you, out of home in 9 markets last year, and which is our geographically selected catchment areas. We
Mm-hmm.
use video for digital, and the digital focused. to prioritize short form video content with a cross device strategy for extended reach. We utilize top news sites, mobile apps, and regional channels tailored to specific geographic audience for digital reach out. And like I told you, print we have used very strategically for some markets.
So urban and vernacular, like they are equally important for you, or does one fare above the other when it comes to media allocation?
No, I mean, so like for example, whenever we do our campaigns, whether it's digital or out of home, uh, primarily when we are doing campaigns in a particular market, at least in 6, 7 languages, we try to reach out in their languages.
Oh,
Uh,
interesting.
so even if the Shubman Gill's campaign also in TV, when we are, uh, I mean, giving an advertisement in a Bengali channel or a Tamil channel, we use a Tamil version of that same ad. So we reach out in the local audience and in the vernacular language only. So and at the same time, obviously, English advertisements continue. So the English audience of the same city can see our brand through the English channels and English websites and all those places. But we have
Sure.
a equally focused and campaign which every time happens around vernacular content.
Okay, and what about content strategies and innovation? Can you share some examples of those at Tata Capital, and how have you implemented to stand out in the cluttered media landscape during these peak advertising periods?
Well, very difficult because in this peak at periods like, for example, IPL or ICC World Cup, if you ask me, and if you're depending primarily on a hero campaign, which is video based, uh, the different types of small tweaks that you can do is primarily on social media. And so we actually blend our main hero campaign along with some influencer strategy that focuses on collaborating with finance influencers and all, so
Mm-hmm.
that we reach out to the right audience through these channels. Uh, well, we understand the importance of catering to diverse audiences across India. That's why we also tie up with regional influencers apart from the nationwide campaigns. And furthermore, our influencer collaborations extend beyond mere content creation. We leverage them to amplify our brand campaigns, like I was telling you, to maximize those campaigns. Uh, Last year, we have done some 3, 4 large social campaigns, and two of them are dependent on influencers. One with a famous artist, Jamie Lever, if you've heard of,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, she is renowned for her exceptional mimicry skills, and we conveyed the message of "Suno Sabki Karo Dil Ki," which is
Oh,
emphasizing
okay.
on importance of taking the leap to follow one's own aspirations and dreams. Additionally, we launched an intriguing campaign with influencers with substantial subscriber bases, and which is right now just finished. And this initiative aimed to spark conversations around the age-old dilemma of whether to take a loan or not to take a loan.
Actually,
And typically,
Jamie Lever's collaboration seems very interesting, where you are actually having the finance product, uh, having a comic talent talk about a finance product. That's something very interesting there.
even loan no known, which I'm talking about,
Yeah.
is not spoken by any finance influencer. These
Okay.
are uh, these are famous kind of influencers on primarily on the video side and Insta, and typically this is a series of video across product categories that delve into nuances of when taking a loan is the right thing to do through experiences of test makers like MSK Vlogs, if you've heard of Saloni Gaur, Raj
Hmm.
Shamani, Suhas Vlogs. We partnered with them, and they were pitted against each other. And one of them had taken loan in their growth journey, and one has not. And they
Okay.
give their pluses and minuses as to why they have taken that decision. And at the
Okay.
end, it is left to the customer to decide what to do. So, in spite of being a financial services company giving loans, we kept it open at the end and left it to the customer to decide whether to go for a loan or not to take a loan. So these are certain activities we continue to do throughout the year to improve the trust factor of the brand also.
So
It is not about
is the focus on Gen Z? Like I can make out from the from your collaborations that you are going
Well,
that way.
some of the collaborators, I mean, influencers are not Gen Z, Gen Z. Some of them are bike enthusiasts. Some has startups, and they in their journey why they have taken a loan or not taken a loan. So yeah, Gen Z maybe, but more than Gen Z, I think the millennials are bigger target.
Okay.
Though the average age is coming down, but as of now, it is primarily the millennials.
What about the audience engagement and how does Tata Capital tailor its advertising strategies to engage diverse audience segments? Like we're just talking about Gen Z, but you're saying that millennials also, they hold a lot of importance for you. During the IPL and general elections, how does that fare out? Does the graph sort of shifts towards some other sector, or ensuring messages resonate across demographies?
Well, if you both the events that you're talking about are very, very kind of secular events where people from
True.
15-year-old to 75-year-old are also seeing and have equal passion for cricket and election. So it is actually a lot of uh, dilution, so to say, as far as the target audience is concerned when such large events are used for promoting a brand. So reaching out to the right audience, you have to actually do contests and you have to actually engage them in various ways so that either they are involved in certain uh, kind of votes or certain engagements by which they participate, they give their own inputs, and in the end, they feel gratified by some ways that Tata Capital has taken note of their inputs. And we have,
Okay.
in fact, during the Women's Premier League, also continuously we do that, and we give away tickets for the matches and so on and so forth.
And what about the digital transformation? In what ways has that shaped at Tata Capital, and how's your approach to advertising for large scale events have changed, citing the changes that we see on daily basis, in fact, in the digital space, and how do you measure success in these initiatives?
But digital transformation, so to say, this journey in Tata Capital started about 3 4 years back. And
Okay.
we are an organization which is 15-year-old selling products which are, so to say, 100-year-old. Personal loan and home loan and all these existed from quite some time. The whole India growth story is based on loans. People are used to taking loans, so to say, but the journey or the process of giving a loan or taking a loan has been pretty paper based and offline, so to say. Over the last 4 to 5 years, the ecosystem also started changing with Aadhaar and government focusing on the whole India stack. And as a brand, we started investing early in digitizing these journeys and making them as simple as possible. How a customer, without meeting a Tata Capital employee, can take a loan end to end digitally. Uh, at least the approval happens end to end digital, and thereafter, if one or two documents has to be collected, can be done post sanction.
Does
So
that
both
help
on,
in building trust across customers? Because
of course.
face to face is something which is, people do tend to uh, have the personal interaction while taking a financial product for their personal or professional use. Then, do you think that that sort of builds the trust when it's like entirely the transactions are happening digitally and there's hardly any face to face interaction?
Firstly, these are all options given to the customer. So while we are telling that
Okay.
there is a end-to-end digital journey, there is a sales team also. There is a partner team which manages partners also, who's happy to go there and help the customer. So there is a completely digital journey. There is a kind of a phygital journey also in between where the customer has done some part and then the sales representative visits him and her and finishes the journey. And then there's a full offline journey which still exists. So all of that is these are all options for the customer, and more India is a young country which with a lot of people very digitally savvy. So they many of them have started preferring doing things at their own sweet time. Middle of the night they apply for a loan. That time there is no one to help them per se, and they are okay with it. So, and some of the products have become so normal that taking a personal loan or taking a loan for a particular reason, like even complex products like loan against shares, are completely digital. So people are okay with it. And the ecosystem is such that you can do a Aadhaar verification online, you can do a video verification online, everything
Right.
is done end to end. So if you have a little bit of patience, 5-10 minutes, and you finish the whole process. Having said that, obviously millennials and Gen Zs prefer that to a great
Mm,
extent. But there are a large section of the customer who would also like to meet us and discuss, and they think
true.
empowered by doing that. And we are happy to do that. So that is there. And coming back to marketing, in this process, our whole communication focus has moved towards quick approval, how fast we are giving away the loan, how digital is the process, how paperless we are, and all has happened.
Okay, but what about the ROI measurement? And can you discuss the tools and matrix Tata Capital uses to measure the ROI of its advertising investments during significant events like IPL and general elections? And how do these insights inform future campaigns?
देखो, ROI per se, when you say is for the brand campaigns, it's different, and there is a continuous throughout the year performance campaign which happens for Tata Capital, and that has nothing to do with these big scale events. And that money is not small, because that is actually part of the business cost, and on a
Okay.
by rupee to rupee basis, it is tracked as to how much money you have spent for how many customers at what cost, and so on and so forth. So anyway, performance campaigns are designed and optimized over a period of time, so that they they have started performing in a particular way, and that's purely measured on the amount of sale that is happening. On the brand side, when you do large scale campaigns like maybe IPL or an election or a ICC World Cup, uh, every campaign has their own KPIs, and we have to set the objectives correctly. And the first, the motherhood objective is to improve the top of mind recall of a brand. So you do brand track surveys, you pre and post the campaign, and you measure how much the campaign has helped you improving, whether it is a spontaneous recall or a top of mind recall or a consideration, so to say, whether the person after seeing the ad is now considering taking the loan, or whether it is help you at least improve the overall awareness of the brand, that if aided, he at least identifies your brand as one of the financial services brand who gives loans. So this is the very brand measurement. But post that, obviously, we also track for each of them how many leads have come, how many conversions have happened, and all. But when you do a large scale brand campaign, it is not right to penalize that campaign basis a conversion, is what I'm saying. For conversion, you should
Mm,
have separate allocated budget for performance, and you optimize your campaign for that. So where Google and Facebook and everyone helps you to get the customers who are prone to taking the loan. There you don't
understood.
increase awareness. There you don't increase awareness. These are already aware customers.
Okay, but then how does Tata Capital balance the brand building activities with performance marketing? It gets tricky when it comes to events like IPL and general elections, and it's the overall in the advertising strategy. Does that change for you when it comes to these large scale events? And how does it? How do you go about that?
Well, as a brand, like I was telling you, we have a yearly target of improving our brand scores by a particular way. Whether we are what we were last year versus what is your target next year, on each of these parameters which I told you, which whether it is spontaneous or total awareness or consideration. And for that, you plan certain activities that includes these hero events like IPL or a general election. And during that time, obviously, you come out with some new ideas. With a, if you have a brand ambassador like us, you do a story around him. He is the hero in the film. He promotes your brand, and so on. And however, performance happens throughout the year, irrespective of your hero events.
Okay,
Performance campaigns have a separate budget that is decided as per the target that a business has taken at the beginning of the year to achieve. How much of that will be brought in by a digital marketing campaign? is decided at the beginning. So that has a different way of handling. So yeah, performance goes irrespective unless and until there's a black swan event like a COVID happens, when we slow down on every front. Otherwise, it is as per business targets.
Sure. And what about the influencers and celebrity partnerships? Like you said that you are like go full throttle on marketing for the entire year. Those parameters change for you when it comes to high scale events like these? And do you hire special influencers or do you go for special celebrity partnerships during these events? And how does it impact your overall advertising strategy?
So we have decided, I mean, every brand does that. I mean, I'm sure we decide on the brand ambassador first. Whether an event comes or doesn't come doesn't matter, because you can't control
Okay.
that part. You find the event to promote your brand ambassador or promote your brand. Uh, so we have decided on a particular genre, particular sportsman, and we use him to create or come out with a story which his own, as well as that represents the brand. Now, how to use them during a event like this, a large scale event, is what you sit down
Okay.
with the media agency and plan it.
Sure. So, what are your thoughts in general about the influencer marketing and um, what's the future that you see of it?
Well, very bright. I think our approach per se as a brand towards influencer marketing is strategic and comprehensive, aligning with our commitment to providing valuable financial insights to our audience while ensuring our brand remains top of mind. So you one is obviously you're using them mostly on digital platforms. So you know which audience
Right.
you would like to reach out to. You exactly find out an influencer for that, and then you promote the influencer event and target that kind of an audience. So it is, I think it's a very symbiotic relationship where the influencer helps the brand helps the influencer. And in the process, our target customer, the target audience gets aware of your brand. We also use influencers, in fact, beyond a basic product. We have used them for their ability to curate educational content also. We have used them to make people aware about lending, about investments, even about fraud awareness, seamlessly integrating our brand. So we have used financial and non-financial influencers in formats which will be liked by the audience, so that we convey our message.
Okay, and what factors influence Tata Capital's decision to sponsor broadcast IPs during these events? And how do you assess the value they bring to your brand?
Well, that is easy. I mean, I know my audience. And some of these are no-brainers. Like IPL, everyone watches. Uh, uh, Election, how much you will spend is a call, because again, that is very easy for a financial brand, because most of our audience are news watching audience. So they are automatically interested in news, and which covers political and election news. So it is easy and very good fit for a financial brand like us. So,
Okay.
and then obviously we sit down with the media buying agency, and they come out with their insights, and we do a strategy which helps us to maybe reach out to the right audience at an optimal cost.
How do you determine reach versus quality?
It's a continuous process. I mean, reach
Okay.
you and obviously, as far as quality is concerned, like I told you, every on a daily basis we track how much leads are coming in and how much impressions are coming in, and so on and so forth. And also we use different technology to ensure that there is no leakage or fraud happening when the advertisement is going out on the digital side, at least. And so your film, your videos are actually being seen by the right audience.
Sure. And what about, basis current trends, what are your predictions for the future of advertising in the context of major events like IPL and general elections?
Well, frankly, if you ask me, 2024, 2025 will be typically be as far as marketing is concerned, whether it is IPL, general election, or anything else.
Okay.
There will be three, four things which will define the future trend, so to say. Generative AI will seep into our consumers' lives. So, and we'll start using it knowingly or unknowingly. So, as a brand, we have to ensure that we either communicate in a way that resonates and reaches our customers, and how we use generative AI in our whole marketing planning and execution. Two big areas of disruption that is happening this year at least,
Mm.
and that will affect marketing, is how to use creative. So creativity and customer service will be the first affected areas of marketing by AI. And as brands, we have to start using or start at least playing with the idea of how to create content, create films, create static images with AI tools, and see how legally compatible that is with your brand. How safe are you? And so as a brand, you have to be aware about all this.
Talking about creativity with AI.
Yeah, creativity with AI. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. And how that shapes up, we'll definitely would like to see.
So
What
we
about
have
the
also started
challenges?
using it. Yeah, we have also started using it. In fact, large brands like Adobe of the world are also started implementing AI in their traditional platforms. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, you were asking something.
Yeah, no, the last question I wanted to ask you are the challenges and opportunities. Reflecting on the upcoming IPL and election seasons, what do you perceive as the biggest challenge and opportunity in advertising for Tata Capital, and how is the brand preparing to tackle these?
As far as challenges are concerned, obviously in a large event like this, there's a the biggest risk is leakage. You don't reach out to the right audience, or maybe you reach out to the right audience and more, and you pay for the more also. And how to ensure that you only reach out to the audience and pay to that extent only is the biggest risk associated to such large events. However, as Tata Capital, like we have our, we understand our target audience well, both on TV as well as digital. Digital, it is easier to target and reach out and track that. TV also, there is a lot of overlap, but we choose channels and choose timings and events so that it reaches to the right audience. So it's a complex mix, but yes, we do that pretty effectively.
Does that keep you on your toes? The complex mix.
It
It's
is
not
actually
easy, right?
it is not easy, but actually you have to love that to be actually be
Yeah,
successful. And I think more complex it is, more technology is there to help you. You have to be little involved on a day-to-day basis, and it's like and that's be part of the whole team's DNA also, and that helps.
so do you focus on your like, upskilling your team and keeping abreast with the trends and on like
100%.
yearly basis? You do that,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
100%. And the team goes for trainings, team goes for certification, and there's so many new things happening. Everyone now tries to use the tools on their own, while there are people also to help. But yeah,
That
we
must
invest.
be a different team now for you, I think. Seeing the kind of trends we see on daily basis, you must be
Yeah,
having
yeah.
like a separate team upskilling the teams.
No, I think that upskilling is done mostly by external partners. So we
I
don't have
see.
I mean, obviously, these are all experts. We have to come in from outside and train, because
Yeah,
Tata Capital is into a business of lending. We don't want to increase our teams in areas which we are not the best in. We would
right.
rather get the training from someone who's the best.
Understood. Well, I think, Kaushik, thank you so much for all your insights. It was a great session. And as we conclude today's insightful discussion with Kaushik Chakraborty, ladies and gentlemen, it's clear that Tata Capital's marketing strategies are a testament to the power of innovation, strategic planning, and adaptability in the face of India's rapidly changing advertising landscape. Kaushik, thank you for sharing your valuable insights and the behind the scenes look at the marketing excellence that drives Tata Capital.
Thanks, Preeti. Thanks a lot for your questions, which really helped me to also dig deep and come out with innovative answers. Thanks a lot. It was a privilege.
Well, your strategies did offer a blueprint for success in leveraging digital transformation, engaging content and targeted advertising to connect with audiences during India's most watched and anticipated events. To our listeners, we hope this episode has equipped you with key insights into crafting effective marketing strategies in a competitive environment. If you found our conversation enlightening, please like, share, subscribe this podcast to help us bring more engaging content your way. Thank you for tuning into the Marketing Crystal Ball IPL versus Election Showdown by DMA Brandmasters. I'm your host, Preeti Hoon, encouraging you to stay innovative and keep pushing the boundaries of marketing. Join us next time for more deep dives into the strategies shaping the future of marketing. Until then, keep exploring and stay curious.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Kaushik.